me to bring a chair?
Yeah.
That's gonna be too wide.
It's too wide.
Probably. Sit on the stack of books here. Or I can just lift the table up.
Okay, we can lift it up. I think we are live.
Let me check. Hold on, nephews. We coming.
I think that'll be good because then all three of us can.
Yep, we live.
Yeah,
We're live. We're live on YouTube.
All right. We're live.
We're live.
All right.
Hello. My name is Mason.
Hold on for 1 second, but we're gonna start it in a second. Y'all forgive us for some of our not even technical difficulties, but it's holiday time, so we're all getting set up. All right. All right, can you see us all? Can you see us?
We can see you all. Let's get it popping. What's up, little nephews? Let's get us popping, girl.
Hey. Welcome, everybody, to Season 2, Episode 3 of Hits and Heels. I'm your girl, Dani. That's my co-host, my sister, my friend, my coach, superstar, Coach Terri Bryant. Woo!
You're so silly.
So we are coming to you. We're in Chicago this weekend for the.
There's a lag.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So we're coming to you from Chicago this week, and I'm here for the holiday, and I'm just enjoying some time with family. I'm so excited. I got my 2 nephews here today. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello. I'm Mason Wright.
How old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
13?
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Ben Wright. I am 12 years old.
He
I
just turned 12, so.
Forgetting it.
So these are the Wright brothers, as we call them. They are some superstar athletes. They play football, basketball. You play soccer. You used to play soccer.
And then we both play baseball.
And then they both play baseball. So 3 sport athletes already. So let's that's one of my good friends, Terri.
All right.
Her son plays football, baseball. Did he do track?
He did basketball.
He used to
up until the 8th grade he did basketball, and then when he got in high school he just concentrated in football and baseball because when he played basketball it would interfere with his timing for baseball.
Mm-hmm. So cool thing. Do y'all remember when I was in Kentucky a few weeks ago? I don't know if I talked to you guys, but I actually went to see her son play in his championship game.
How did they do?
They won.
Nice.
State title, state champions. Yep. State champions. It is pretty impressive.
That high school, I'm gonna guess?
Yeah. High school, class 5A. So they're moving to 6A next year, right?
Yes.
Frederick Douglass, yeah. So 6A is like the most competitive, highest.
Jeez.
Yep.
So they won the second best league. And what did they win by?
They won by.
It was 20, what was it, 27-7 or something like that? 28-6 or 28-6, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
it was tied at the head, or they went up by one.
It was, you know
It was
what?
tied
I
at
think it was 7 because it was tied at halftime, wasn't it?
Yep, tied at the half,
Yes, tied at halftime.
and then they came out and shut them out in the second half.
Absolutely.
Won 28-7.
28-7. Gotcha.
And her son, his name is Ty. Ty got game MVP. He was district player of the year. He got Paul Harnan player of the year, which is like one of the Kentucky State player of the year honors. And he's up for.
Well, he was nominated for Mr. Kentucky, but he didn't get Mr. Kentucky. The 6A quarterback that won 6A that played for Bullitt East that beat Mail ended up getting the player of the year.
Yeah,
it was still pretty great that he got nominated and was close enough to.
Absolutely, he was still nominated. Yes.
Yep.
And he was also nominated for the 5A player of the year, but he got just the district private player. Well, we're still proud. It doesn't matter. We're still proud. Plus, there's always politics involved with that. So.
Yep. So Benjamin, tell him what position you play. You got to speak up too.
I play tight end and wide receiver.
Okay.
I'm the backup quarterback. So
okay.
And then what positions do you play for baseball?
For baseball, I'm a catcher. Last year, I held the record for most throwouts at second base.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
You a beast.
He's got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, you got a beast. You got an arm if you throwing out people like that from catcher to second. You a beast.
And then Mason, what positions do you play?
So in football, I'm like a backup running back and mainly like a wide receiver.
Okay.
And then when I play defense, I'm usually a cornerback or a safety.
Oh, that's what my son plays. He plays safety.
And then I do the special teams and everything.
Gotcha. So the DB position to me is the DB, especially the corner, is the hardest positions to me on the field on defense.
Yeah, you have to keep your footwork just like basically down to a science, and you gotta basically read.
Absolutely. If you don't know how to read your keys, you're in trouble in those positions. Absolutely. Great job.
Thank
and
you.
Then you play baseball too.
Yes. So for baseball, I also play catcher, and then I play a lot of outfield, and then sometimes shortstop. I don't hold any records, at least not yet, but
okay.
Hopefully.
Speak that, baby.
Hopefully this year I can get something done. I'm not.
Okay.
And then I do play basketball also, and for basketball, I'm usually a point guard or like a wing. So.
Okay, the 2 guard, you shooting guard. Okay.
What position?
Shooting guard, the 2 or the 3.
Either or.
Either or. So you play the 1, 2, or the 3. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Good stuff. I love it.
Benjamin plays basketball too. What position you play?
In basketball, I play wing.
Okay.
Or point guard.
Gotcha.
So.
Love it. I love it.
Right? So sports are still running wild in our family. So I'm really proud of them. And beyond them, their athletic achievements, one of the things that Terry and I always talk about is the academic side. And these two are killing it in the classroom as well. So they have straight A's.
Well, I think that's what made us so proud of Ty. Ty's got all the athletic accolades, but when you see, black males that are also getting the straight A's, Ty had a 4.2 GPA. It just doesn't get any better than when it's higher than a 4.0. But when you're getting straight A's, guys, you got to keep them grades. I'm so proud of you for getting them grades. That's probably the most important part of being a student athlete is getting grades. And the reason why you want your grades to be a 4.0 and stay at a 4.0 is so that you can have all the options that you want. There are so many athletes that are really, really good, but they have to settle for where they can go, or they don't have as many options because they don't have the grades. But when your grades are on point, then the sky is the limit. And now you get to pick and choose where you want to go, because then now your options are way higher than you're able to keep your options open. And that's like the most important part of being a student athlete. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you.
So Mason's team won the youth football championship this year. So, and then I'm gonna ask. Come on, I gotta brag on their dad.
Dad, come on, Dad.
I'm gonna dip low so you don't see
Also,
my.
their
That's
coach.
okay. Come on, Dad.
Hello.
Does Dad coach as well?
Yeah, this is my big brother Darrell. So
Hey,
he
Darrell. Nice to meet you.
You too. I hear a lot of good things about you and your son and his athletic achievements. So congrats.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting your parents as well.
Good.
So Darrell has coached their
Everything.
like, I think, yeah. So
Mostly football and baseball lately. I've given up the reins on basketball, which is good because I don't know what I'm doing with basketball.
Oh my God. Like you and my husband are like right there together. He's a football guru and a baseball guru, but he was like, I can never freaking coach basketball. He's like, I don't know how the heck y'all coach basketball. He's
I
like,
was like Dennis Rodman out there. I rebound, I play defense, but I cannot tell you what to do on offense. So
yeah, well, I coached basketball, I coached football, I coached volleyball, I coached track, but I also I played softball. So
okay.
I love all of those. So that's good stuff. So what do you like most about being a dad coach?
Honestly, well, there's two reasons why I really have kept coaching and decided to get into it. One, the first was always just to be able to spend more time with these two.
Absolutely.
It's short-lived.
Yes, they grow up fast.
Yeah. So, I knew it was going to come quickly, and it has. But then the other reason is I think I was very fortunate to have a lot of really positive coaches in my life. And so if I could kind of use that model and give that back as much as possible, I always say that like the more people that you have that care about your kids, regardless of where those people come from, the better off your kids are going to be. So selfishly, I get to spend more time with them, but I also get to look out for some of their friends and some other kids. And it keeps me young too. So
absolutely. I think for me, I think I got into coaching because I was seeing bad coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not that I felt like I knew more. I was just like, oh my God, and then I saw where there were coaches that were failing kids because they were allowing them to have bad behavior and bad grades, but because they were athletic and they were good, they would still just play them.
Yeah.
And I felt like that those type of coaches weren't doing those kids any type of service to prepare them for the real world or to help them to get to the next level. I saw a lot of kids that should have gone to the next level that didn't, because the coaches only cared about winning and playing and didn't actually care about the kids and their well-being and making sure that they were taking care of their business in the classroom, and just being good people and citizens. You can't be in the classroom cussing teachers out and going to safe and that type of stuff and still being able to play. So I think that was one of the reasons why I kind of got into coaching. I was watching a video of Dion yesterday. I was binging Dion the other day, and he said that's how he got into it. Was he was on the sideline watching his two sons being coached, and he was having to get up and correct the coaches all the time. So he got to the point where he was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do my, let me just take over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get
I'm not a quiet spectator either. So.
Oh yeah, we aren't either.
I have a hard time sitting with basketball. It's easy because, like I said, I don't really know what I'm talking about out there. So I could judge only on effort, but with the rest of them, it's the same sort of thing. I think there's a lot of people right now, and specialization in sports has made it worse. But a lot of people who are coaching for the wrong reasons, right?
Yes, are coaching for the wrong, and a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie. I probably can name 4 or 5 coaches that coach strictly so that they're to put their sons in position.
Yeah.
to put their kids in position so that they can get the playing time, so
Yeah.
then we kind of see the daddy ball where, we have a child that's playing quarterback that probably doesn't need to be quarterback, or we have someone that's playing point guard or that's playing period that probably should be on the bench. So we've seen a lot of that, but that's when I think it gets a little bit more, I don't know. That's when it gets controversial and political.
Yeah.
And so as a coach, how do you differentiate? I know one of the compliments that my husband had when he was coaching my son in is it coach pitch right before you go to Little League?
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband coached coach pitch and then the player pitch right before he went to Little League. He coached both of those for my son. And he got many compliments because, we had more than one African-American kid on our team. So there were people that would come and we were like, okay, well, which one is your son? Mm-hmm. And we thought that was one of the biggest compliments because people couldn't tell who his son was because he treated everybody fairly and he put all the kids on the, they just couldn't tell. They didn't know who his son was. So it just wasn't obvious like it is with, a lot of teams when you're watching fathers that are coaching.
We're back.
We're back. When there's coaching. So I just commend you because I think coaching is probably one of the hardest things ever. I stopped coaching for a while because I just got tired of dealing with the parents. We got a lot of parents that feel like their kids are better than what they really are, and they're not, or they don't see the effort that they put in practice because they're not in practice. So it's hard to put them on the court and or on the field when they don't really practice up to par, or they don't put forth that effort in practice. And so a lot of parents don't really see their child's work ethic and then so they don't understand why they're not playing. And then of course kids aren't going to go home and be honest with their parents. All they're going to do is think that the coaches are being just unfair and treating them, just don't like them or whatever the reason. And so when it got to that point, that was when I kind of gave it up. I gave it up for a couple of years. And then my husband pulled me out of retirement and asked me to coach football. And I tell you what, coaching football has been the most rewarding thing I've probably ever done in my life. And now having an opportunity to coach a women's team has made that even better. So, oh my God. So I'm just totally just asking all these questions. Dani, so did you have some questions that you wanted to ask your family members that you wanted to make sure that the audience were aware of?
Yes. So I want to ask my nephews, what is it like having your dad as your coach?
I probably
I hate it so much. He's terrible. It's awesome because he can teach me like not just like in football, but like also about like important stuff like life lessons and stuff. And he can teach me anything I need to know like outside of practice. And we can get there early and work on the stuff that I like need to work on and stuff. And it's just fun having him around and everything. So yeah.
He's only been my coach in basketball, really.
And soccer and baseball.
So both in soccer and
Baseball.
And baseball. Didn't really know much, or baseball and basketball. Soccer and basketball. It was kind of like interesting because he didn't really know what he was talking about in both the sports. So
you were all learning together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but once we got into basketball, it got really fun. But I haven't been able to play with him as my coach in football. Right now I just have two coaches who won't give up coaching. Or one. The other one's still young. But
maybe next year.
Yeah, it's great to have him as my basketball coach. But
so also my brother played 3 sports all the way through college.
High school.
Through high school, and then he was a.
Didn't you do track also?
In college, yeah.
Yeah,
sophomore year or junior?
Junior.
Yeah. So, I guess we can all talk about like the balance of athletics and academics, because I know for my brother and I, like we always had to. Athletics helped us stay organized and disciplined, and I think that my nephews. I know this one is definitely like that.
Yeah.
He does better when he has sports and athletics and
Oh
extra.
my God, it's like the best motivator.
Yeah, and I think Ben is the same way too.
I was actually just
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. The reason why if Ty brings home a C, he would not be. I think even a B, he would not have been allowed to play.
Yeah.
He was not allowed to play. Like he would have been off the team. And so he didn't have a choice but to make sure he got the straight A's. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to play. Because we set the standard really, really high. I think they said a C, but I think we got it to the point where he understood that it was all about getting straight A's. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to play. And so he wanted to play way more than he didn't want to play. And so I think that was just the biggest motivator. I had a hard time in college. I didn't play ball in college, and I struggled through college because I wasn't playing a sport, because I was used to playing a sport.
Yeah.
I was always better behaved and more focused when I was in season. Out of season for sure. Although
absolutely,
you're still working out, but it's not the same level.
Absolutely. So for me, there was never an off season because I played the three sports, and then in the summertime was when I was off, but we wasn't in school, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I was in the upper bound program at Kansas State University, so I still spent like time I still felt like I was in school for a period of time in the summertime, but it just wasn't the same. So I had to do 3 sports because I had to keep it. Otherwise, there's no way I'd have been able to. I hated school, so I was one of those where I had to have a sport, or otherwise it would. Because I struggled in college because I was like, oh my God, this is for the birds.
Yeah.
I wasn't studious at all. I think I almost flunked out. I think I was on academic probation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just be totally transparent. I think I was on academic probation in my second semester in college because I was struggling. I would go to class and I would just literally get up in the middle of class and walk out. It was a struggle for me because I was not playing a sport.
So how do you guys feel about, like, how do you balance your athletics with your schoolwork and having fun, and what's that like? Is you think it's hard to do?
Well, I'm still at like a low level of sports and like homework. I don't really get much of that, so it's pretty easy to balance both of them. I come home, I get my work done, or sometimes I'll take a little break in between school and my homework. Sometimes I'll just go to the gym for a little bit, and yeah.
I just try to get it done as fast as possible, like especially like when I have free time in school. I just try to get it done either in class or in different classes when you're all done with your work. And then if I can't finish it all, then I just try to get it done like when I can.
Good stuff. I love it.
And I think our parents always coached us as well, so it's been pretty cool to see. I'll have to share it on our page. I think I have a picture of my dad and my brother back in when were we here to watch the boys?
Oh, for
play?
Football season?
Yeah,
like back in October.
Yeah, so it was like October, and the guys, they had games back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was coaching, and then my dad was on the sideline. So it was really cool to for me to see
the 3 generations.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that had to be so cool.
Having my dad watching his grandsons play.
Yeah. Oh my God, that has to be like the best experience ever.
Yeah, so it's really cool just to see how things change, and like watching my nephews play their sports reminds me of my brother playing, you know, they're playing the same sports that he played, except for wrestling. My brother was like a top-notch wrestler and
Gotcha.
all the way through high school. So you guys, neither of you wrestle, right?
No.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, it's hard to wrestle when you're playing basketball because usually wrestling and basketball is usually during the same time.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see, like, even just as a family, you know, it's like what do they call it? The cycle of life. You know?
Yes.
It comes full circle, and you get to see.
Oh my God, I love it. It's such a great story.
Yeah. Now seeing my nephews play when it used to be my, you know, us playing, but it's pretty cool. I
had a not to interject, but my wife and I were talking actually just a couple of days ago, and I had a little daydream. She was saying that, you know, priorities as the kids get older and they settle down and have their own families. She's like, I want to live close to the boys. I'm like, yeah, me too. And then, you know, have the opportunity like my folks do to spend time with them and have a real relationship if they choose to have families or whatever. But I had a little daydream of the boys and I coaching a grandson together.
Man, right?
And then I was like, I better pause this. I need to pump the brakes on
Oh
this.
my God. Like, wouldn't that just be the bomb though? Oh my God. Wouldn't that be the bomb?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know, but Terry, I think we had some connection issues, but she is the assistant head coach. Is that right?
I'm an assistant head coach for the middle school team.
And the offensive coordinator, right?
The assistant offensive coordinator, running backs coach, and special teams for the Derby City Dynamite.
Okay, so like if I need a new scheme next season, I'm gonna reach out to you.
Okay, I got you.
But Derby City Dynamite is the only pro women's football tackle league in the state of Kentucky, and she is one of their coaches now.
That's awesome.
So how many women are on the team now, Terry?
We have a roster of about 65. We got like 65 people that are signed up. We just had a bunch of matter of fact, we just had some people come from y'all's way, from Columbus. I guess they had a problem with that and they want to come play with us. There's about 4 or 5 of them that come from Columbus, but they come from all over. We got people from Indianapolis. We got one girl now, she's coming from Charlotte. One comes all the way from Miami. Somebody comes from Alabama, Chattanooga. It's crazy how, you know, how far they come out just to play. So and
why do you think that is?
Because it's so limited to, you know, there's not that many women's teams. And then we're dealing with women. Let's be honest. You know, we don't get along with each other. So, you know, I think what happens is you know, there might be teams closer by, but you don't have a relationship with them, or y'all fall out or for whatever reason. And or there's a coaching issue. I mean, you just don't never know what the issue is. You know, when you're grown, unlike a child, when you're on a team, it doesn't matter. But on this level, you can choose, you know, if you don't like how it's going, you know what, I can go somewhere else. And but when you're playing for a school team, usually there's limits. It's not like you can just be like, you know what, I don't want to play for this team no more. I'm gonna go across town and go play for the other team. Some places you can do that, but most places like here, you can't. Everything is about your work, playing in your district, right? So I don't know if it's like that in Chicago or other places. Yeah, you got to play in your district.
It's within like a city or where you live, right? Your address.
Yes, like based off of your address, you have to go to a certain school. But when you're playing on the women's team, you know, we're not bound to any of that. You know, it's a pro team. I mean, just like any other pro team, you got people that come from everywhere. People transfer, you know, people get traded, they get traded out or they retire or whatever, and they go somewhere else. So that's how our women's team kind of works. Now they still have to try out, and we have a board, and she does confer with like her the owner confers with like her board and her veterans. because they've been playing long enough where they kind of know the people. Like there was one girl that came from another city, and they denied her because she had an issue with one of the players, and they said that she couldn't come and play with us because there was a like an issue outside of the game or something like that was personal, and they thought that that issue would cause a division on the team, and so they did not allow her to come on based off of the recommendation of the players on the team. So I thought that was pretty good, but again, that's the option that you have. I mean, you got coaches also that have an option of whether you have tryouts, and you can elect to whether or not you can keep kids or whether or not you can just get rid of them. But it's easy to get rid of kids if you don't play them, because most of the times they get rid of themselves. So.
Yep. Now, do you guys have any questions for Coach Terry?
Like, was it kind of like, just kind of coaching? Like, is it kind of the same experience almost, like kind of with like other sports and everything for that, or is it
coaching the women's team?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much the same, except I'm dealing with grown people. So our dialect and how we talk is going to be a little bit more different. I'm probably harder with the kids because they're kids, right? But when I'm dealing with grown women, I have to be a little bit more tactful with how I say things, because again, it's a women's team, so we got to keep people. We need people to play. So I don't want to run them off, but at the same time, I also have to be a coach. So if they're not up to par or something like that, I do have to be influential with getting them to do what I need them to do. It's just I just have to be a little bit different with how I say it, as opposed to when I'm with the boys. Like when I'm coaching boys, it's easy to jack y'all up.
True. I'm the motivator on my football team, and I'm probably like the second smallest kid out there, and all I have to do is just take 30 seconds and they're all going crazy and everything, and then
good stuff. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You're a leader already. That's good stuff.
I don't really have any questions, so.
Okay, so I have a question for y'all. So have y'all had y'all's first female coach coaching football yet?
I played 2 years under the same coaches. Maybe hopefully in high school, possibly.
Gotcha. Have you seen any other teams that have had female coaches?
I've seen, I think, 2 basketball teams in my school conference with. Yeah.
We have a number of basketball coaches and baseball too. Because even just in our town, I'm thinking specifically, there's a few ladies that I know who.
Oh yeah, I know there's a couple of females that are head coaches in Chicago.
But for football, I'm not.
For football, there's two female head football coaches in Chicago. But that's good.
Are they the high school league?
They're high school, yes.
That's what I thought.
I mean, they're 2 black females too. They're African American females that are heads of in Chicago. I don't know. No, I think they're the only ones in the whole state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Of course, there's not many of us.
No, not at all.
I mean, we could probably count, on a couple of hands across the nation how many female coaches that are coaching on that, level.
Yeah.
I think there's one in I know one in Florida. There used to be one in DC. I don't know if she's still coaching. But across the nation, as far as females that are head coaching, there's definitely limited. But there's a couple that are like me that are assistant. I mean, even on the middle school level. And I'm at the middle school level. There's definitely, I know one coaching at the high school level in the state of Kentucky.
So for you, do you work within the school district at all, other than coaching, or?
I used to. I don't anymore. I got hit with a chair, and I left the school district after I got hit with a chair.
That makes sense.
Hit her with a chair.
Because I think here they have
with the chair, and I left.
you have to work in the. I think you have to.
Work okay? And that is the case with a lot of players. And you can't. And I think if I wanted to be a head coach, I think I would definitely have to be in the district if I wanted to be a head coach.
And in Ohio, it's the complete opposite. Like you don't have to have a child in the district. You can coach in a different.
But if I'm saying like working wise, right? Don't they have to be an educator of some sort, or at least working some job within the school district?
Within the school district?
Or is that
no?
Because like most of the coaches are like, they teach.
Yeah. They teach. Yeah, they're teachers.
So I think that's the norm, but I think if you are a paid head coach, then there may be something with that. But I don't even know if that's the case anymore because there's a school, Garfield High School. Their head coach is the executive director at a nonprofit. So he's not.
So it must
not in the classroom, but he's still the head coach. And like but granted, I wasn't getting paid when I was coaching the middle school team, but I just signed volunteer paperwork and that was it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But but I think a lot of that they're trying to change a lot of that, but it really depends.
I think it makes sense for the head coach to be a teacher. Being a teacher is probably one of the hardest jobs that being an educator, period. Dealing with other people's kids is so difficult. And so when you're, like my husband is not in the same building as the team that he coaches. He's in a different building, but he works at the alternative school. So he's used to dealing with the worst kids in our district. So his perspective is a lot different on how he's able to deal with kids. And I think that's what attracted the coach there to allow him to even coach there. But we do have coaches that are head coaches. They're in the system, but they might not necessarily be in that particular building where they coach. But most of the high school coaches are in the building and are coaches. I mean, are in the system. And I think that is a criteria here. Yeah. That they have to be in the system, but they do prefer their head coaches to be also in the building.
Yeah, I know. Like I was even at a private school for 5 years, and our women's hockey coach, actually, she's still there, and she, well, no, that's not the case because she actually came in and she started. She's a lawyer. She has her own practice, and but she was also, I forgot, she was actually doing our elementary school physical education program.
Gotcha.
So she, and then all the other coaches at the school were also involved in other areas of the school. They may not have been teachers, but they were still staff members at the school. So, but I think it definitely makes sense. And I feel like, I know when we were coaching the middle school team this summer, and our head coach at the time was a teacher. And so he got to see the boys in school as well. And they knew that if they did anything, he was going to check them.
Right. And I think that's definitely an advantage of, if you can be in the building, I definitely recommend that you can be in the building. Whereas my husband has the flexibility where he could pop up at the school at any time, and they didn't know. So they was always on their P's and Q's because they never knew when he was going to pop up in the building.
Yeah.
And so that helped tremendously with behavior and their grades. We were really proud of our, I forgot what we ended our team grade GPA was, but it was pretty high.
Yeah. So my basketball coach is here. He's my my math teacher. So
Okay.
he had really high expectations for the team, which kind of also led to me like keeping my grades up and trying to not have like missing assignments or anything, because it was basically every Thursday he would hand out a sheet of paper with your missing assignments on it, and if you didn't have those missing assignments turned in by Monday, then you had to sit down at a table and finish them, and you didn't get to practice until.
And that's what I used to, when I was a basketball coach. That's what I did. I would bring we had like a stage where in a gym, and I would have a desk there. And if they didn't have their homework done, they would sit at the desk and do their homework while everybody else practiced.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did as a basketball coach as well. Good coach. I love him.
Someone did
Me
have
too.
to do that.
Made my job a lot easier.
Yes, it makes a parent's job easy. Because I'm gonna tell you, one of our biggest problems was, guys, you have infinite. I don't know what you guys have. We have infinite campus here, so the parents have access to their grades anytime they want to pick. They want to on their phone or on their computer or whatever. They can go in and see those kids' grades, see what assignments are missing, and they have the opportunity to check every day. And so when we get kids that are struggling, we're jumping on the parents. We're like, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to, but our athletic director would send out a grade report like every week to let us know who was eligible and who was not eligible. And we're thinking like we shouldn't have to be policing y'all. Parents, this is your responsibility to make sure they got their freaking grades. It's not the coach's job to make sure they're getting a grade. It's the parents. But so that's why whoever's listening on here, if you're a parent, it's your responsibility to make sure them kids is getting their grades.
Right. I think that was an advantage for us growing up too. Like our
parents didn't play.
Yeah, they didn't care if we were up for a record or
did not care.
Rival
Did not
game or
care.
whatever.
Nope.
If the grades weren't straight,
You was not playing.
We got our car keys taken, set down from whatever sport we were in at the time, which I don't think really ever happened with us.
Right, but
we knew
you knew the consequence. Yeah.
So it was like, the threat was there, and that was enough to keep us.
And that was enough. Absolutely, that was enough.
But I think that, just even looking at, the importance of sports now with our youth, and I'm happy that these guys are not so specialized in one thing that like that's where all their focus is going. You and I talk about that a lot, the importance of still being multiple sport athletes and good students, and like Mason is playing in the band. Benjamin is a great artist. Do you play an instrument too?
I want to play guitar, but
I know you're looking at me, but Dad hasn't signed him up for guitar lessons yet. That's true.
Oh, that's cool.
They're really well rounded. They don't have an interest in just one thing, and then my brother and his wife.
But I think that's what makes you the best athlete. And I know people argue about this because, especially with baseball, because they've made baseball almost all year round. They've made basketball almost all year round because of AAU.
Yeah.
But I think that when you're a multi-sport athlete, you minimize I don't know if you minimize your injuries or not, because now you're not pounding the same muscles all the time. But we do have a kid, oh my God, that I don't know what he's probably gonna get a bubblegum card. He's already got an offer for. He's a left-hander. He's a southpaw, and he's a pitcher. So he's already got an offer from Kentucky, and he plays basketball. And guess what he did? He tore his ACL. And I was like, why would you risk that? I guess when you get to that point where you're getting your offers and where you're getting ready to go, then I think that's when I would kind of, depending on what it is. Because basketball, I tore both my ACLs in basketball, right? And so I just don't know if I would have taken that risk. But early on, especially all the way through middle school, I definitely highly recommend the 3 sports or 4 sports if you can do baseball in the summertime, summer ball, summer baseball or summer basketball or whatever, AAU or travel baseball in the summertime. So what do y'all prefer in the summertime?
I don't really do many sports.
We play baseball all the way through July.
Yeah.
So y'all do baseball and not basketball during the summer.
No. But I'm not sure about when I get to high school. Possibly, we have a travel baseball team, and they play just during the summers. They do mainly like year round right now. But when they get to high school, because of the high school team, they can't do it anymore, so they just do it during the summer. So I might.
Oh wow. Okay, so my son played. He was a football, so he got his offers in. Okay, up until I think his sophomore. When did Ty get his first offer? Sophomore year. So Ty got his first offer in football in sophomore year, and from Marshall, right? So then once the football offer, so once he got that first football offer, all the other ones started coming. But we never saw the baseball offers. So you know that the baseball, I don't know if you guys know this. So baseball doesn't normally give a full ride like football. Football gives a full ride, right? And so because baseball is a partial, I think because he already was getting full ride offers for football, I think the coaches weren't offering him for baseball. But so what he did was he played high school baseball, but then he also got on a travel team, and then we played travel team for all summer for baseball. And so the travel team that he was on was an elite travel team that, you know, they went to most of the showcase. So there's like a huge one in like Atlanta. He was on what is the what do you call it? PBR, and what's the other one? Oh, Perfect Game. Okay, so we went to their tournaments, the Perfect Game tournaments and the PBR tournaments were the main where coaches were. So like we went to a tournament in Atlanta, and we showed up matter of fact, I think the last time we went to Atlanta, as soon as we got to Atlanta, the Kentucky coach was at the game. Kentucky coach, there was like 5 college coaches that were at that particular baseball game that we were at. And so those were the type of tournaments that we went to where where the college coaches were going to be there. And you know, when you get to that level, I would definitely recommend that. I'm just saying if you want to go the baseball route.
So one thing that Terry and I always talk about, each week we have like an educational moment, or we come up with a quote or something like that to end the show. Or a lot of times we talk about like controversial topics in sports.
Okay.
But then we also always try to do like an educational moment where we're teaching someone something or we're encouraging them. So
That's math.
yeah. That's math. That's all I'm good at. I'm good at math and sports. Not ELA, but social studies. That's all right. Science. Right. You have good grades, so you're actually good at everything. So I want you guys to think about one thing that you would like to leave the show with and tell people something encouraging, something funny, something, or even something that you're excited about, and tell why.
Okay, I'll go first. Just like a piece of information in sports and everything in general.
Yep.
Like work ethic is key for everything. Like athletic skill can only take you so far, and just talent can only take you so far. If you want to be like on a higher level, you have to put in a specific, like you have to put in work to get to that level, and you have to try your best in every single situation and play your heart out every single chance you get to just reach like all your goals and everything. And you can kind of like do anything that you put your mind to if you put in that work and everything. So
That's good stuff. He's so well spoken already.
I'm sitting here sometimes, you know, especially as a parent and coach, I'm really hard on these two on the whatever athletics field we're on. So hearing him
articulate is so good.
Oh, it's nice. So.
Yes, absolutely. You should be proud. Good job, Dad.
You have anything? I want to go last.
You want to go last?
You are. This is last.
Well, then, what they said.
Oh, no.
Bye.
Come sit down. You're one of the most
Yes.
well-spoken and insightful people I know.
Yes.
So I'm sure you could come up with something. What'd you learn? What have you learned in basketball this season? You're on a new team.
Well, I'm on a new team with a bunch of really good players from the championship last year. So, I don't really know what to expect coming in as a new guy with the coach already having all those players on there. So, it's just, I've learned that it's like the effort, that's what coaches want to see. And that's what they give you the play time for.
And kind of to add on to that, like if you're not happy with your playing time or anything, just like even just talking with them, telling them like what can I do to get better and what can I do like to just get more playing time and everything.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
I know, right? Good. They're good, right?
Yes. Yes. So Cisco just came through, and I just wanted to add this real quick. When we talked about Ty's and his offers, most of the teams why he didn't get baseball offers was because those same schools that offered him in football were open to him playing baseball as well. And so that meant they didn't have to give out a scholarship because he was already getting a scholarship for football. But like Cincinnati, the Air Force, Maryland, I'm trying to think who else. I know Marshall, they were all, even Kentucky are open to him playing. We're open to him playing both. And I think it was going to be based off of how early he's going to have an impact at Kentucky. So that's just something to think about. You could still be a dual sport athlete. There's not too many of them, but I think a lot of people don't know that like Jameis Winston and was a pitcher as well as a quarterback.
Russell Wilson,
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray did both. I mean, got drafted with the A's, and then turned around and got drafted with the Arizona. He turned down his $5 million with the A's. His $5 million signing bonus with the A's. So it's still possible. So I don't ever want you guys to be discouraged that you can't play both. Yep. And I love baseball. I'm not gonna lie. I still wish Ty would do baseball more because I think the money is longer. I think you have less wear and tear on your body than you do with football, and even with basketball. Because basketball, oh my God, your ankles and your knees and your, it's always just something, right? And so I'm not gonna lie. I'm still pro. I love him playing football, but I'm so pro baseball more than anything. I'm not gonna lie. I hope y'all stick with baseball. But for some reason, baseball gets boring for kids, especially for Black kids, because it's not as exciting as football and basketball. Because football is, you're playing, everybody's moving and doing something. Basketball is just up and down the court and it's always nonstop. With baseball, you could be in the outfield. You might play a whole game and never get the ball hit to you.
That's why I encouraged him to play catcher for so long with Mason.
At least if you play catcher or first base, catcher, first base, at least you're active all the time and you're always involved in the game. But when you're in the outfield, you don't know if you could end up playing the whole game and then you're just standing out there. And then of course, now if you're hitting again, it's gotta come back around. You might hit 3 or 4 times a whole game, maybe, right? And so you're not really, unless you guys are just really, really running the ball. You might be lucky to hit, 3 or 4 times a game. And so a lot of times with, especially with Black kids, they get bored with baseball because it's just not as exciting and it ends up getting boring as they get older. But I hope y'all stick with baseball. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think it's close to closing time.
We got like 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. But I know that these two are probably ready to. I'm tired.
Oh, y'all are out behind, so y'all not. It's not too late. Yeah.
We can let you guys go. Say.
We'll let y'all close
Yeah.
it down. Thank you for. Did you guys say?
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on. You guys were so great, so very well spoken. I'm so proud of you. You guys are going to be great. I can't wait to see and watch y'all's journey going forward.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Dad, stay.
Yeah.
You should be so proud. You should be so proud. You should be so freaking proud. I mean, they're very well spoken. They got the grades. I mean, you're doing a fantastic job. So many of our Black dads don't get the credit that they deserve because I think one of the hardest part for us that really breaks my heart are the boys on our team that their dads aren't in their lives. And it shows. They're very emotional. They're the ones that we're always having to, because they're used to being around their moms. Nothing wrong with moms. I was a single mom. I just didn't raise a boy. I just happened to be able to raise a girl. But I'm one of those, people don't like me a lot because I'm one of those proponents where I feel like if you have a situation where a father wants to be in a child's life, let them be in their life. I don't care what's going on because they need to be there. And so I just want to commend you for just taking the time out to coach. Coaching is hard.
Yeah.
It is very hard. And it's time consuming when you're not getting paid. So you're on that level where you're doing this for free. So it's even harder. You're like, okay, I'm doing this for free.
On the board an age now where they really care about the outcomes a lot too. So it means as a coach, you get, you're not doing them a service if you're not putting in the requisite amount of work to give them a positive result, whether they win or not. I don't get too hung up over that stuff, but if I'm out there coaching, I'm coaching to win the game. I'm not
win. Absolutely. And 100%. Yes, absolutely.
I'm looking right now. My floor has got a stack of QB wristbands and play call sheets. Everything else.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. So my living room, my bedroom, I don't know how many times they done tackled each other in the bedroom. I'm surprised my bed hasn't broken. We're always watching film. We watch a game. Ty will be in his room and he'll call him and he'll sit there. We'll rewind it and he'll show up. This is what you don't do. I mean, it's always nonstop a learning experience. But I just don't think that Ty would be the player that he was if his dad wasn't who he was, as far as taking the time out to coach him, because he was coaching high school ball and high school football and high school baseball when we got together. And so and Ty was just turned 5. And so he didn't coach Ty in T-ball. And so then when he stopped getting paid to coach high school baseball to coach Ty for player pitch. What's first? Coach pitch is first and then player pitch, right?
Coach pitch.
So he did coach pitch and then player pitch. So he coached Ty those, I think it was 4 years. So he stepped down to coach those, and I just think it was just all. I mean, Ty, again, you've seen all the accolades. We got trophies and MVPs and all over the place.
Living room looks like football, basketball, baseball, track and field Hall of Fame. I mean, literally, they have an entertainment center that has turned into like 2 entertainment centers that are trophy cases now. I mean, plaques, trophies. The entrance to their home is like a little, I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a little sports memorabilia area. And then Ty's bedroom, his wall, he has an entire wall and from floor to ceiling, they have pinned up every jersey that he's ever worn.
But that's all for Cisco, for his memories.
Yeah.
He just wants the memories.
Yeah.
But we've had some great so Ty, a lot of people don't know this, but Ty, let me tell you something. When he was 11, we won the state 11-year-old little league. And Ty literally put the team on his back on that. And then 12-year-old, we made it to the regionals for the Little League World Series.
Oh, wow.
Because we won the state of Kentucky his 12-year-old year. So he pitched, it almost was a one hitter. It was like a one hitter on ESPN. So he was 12 years old on ESPN, and he pitched 2 heck of a games. You know, I think we ended up losing to Detroit, and I think we were 1 game away from going to Westport.
Oh, that's I always enjoy watching those. That's a lot of
those
fun.
Are so enjoyable to watch. Absolutely.
Coming out of there, 10, 15, 20 years later, they're playing in the big
and
league.
Now they're playing in the major leagues, right? Yeah. So and so that, that's Ty. He's had that type of experience where he's been to the regionals for the Little League World Series, and he's we still got, I still got a couple of the YouTubes where he played played on ESPN. So luckily they, somebody recorded them for us. And so we have, so we just have those memories, but all you got is the memories. So just make sure you enjoy the process, and enjoy them. They grow up super fast. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, Ty was their age. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he was their age. Right. And now he's 18 and he starts at UK on the 3rd. And it's been unbelievable that it's gone by this fast.
So he's going early for spring ball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's going early for spring ball. So Ty actually reclassified down. Most people reclassify up. So he reclassified and came back another semester and got his state championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was young. So if he would have stayed, he would have been enrolling at Kentucky last year at 17. He would have graduated at 17.
Yeah.
And so they gave him the opportunity to reclassify, and so he went on ahead and reclassified. So so right now he's still only 18. So he'll still only be 18 when he starts in January, because
that's Mason too. He'll turn 14 this summer, and he'll be a freshman, incoming freshman. So he'll graduate at 7. If he finishes in 4 years, he'll graduate
at 17. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so that's, I don't think it's a controversy, but I just think that my husband wanted to hold Ty back when he was in kindergarten, because he already foresaw that, but his mom wouldn't allow that. But that's because she wasn't an athlete and she didn't understand that age, that extra age for maturity. But he still could have. I felt like he still could have came out at 17. And he would have been just fine. Like listening to your son talk. Oh my God, he's so mature already.
Yeah, it's funny.
You know what I mean? And so I just don't think that once he's 17, I don't think he's one of those kids that'll have a problem with being able to go to the next level, even though he's still going to be young. But
he knows what he wants. He's willing to work for it. I think
And then again, that's when the red shirt kind of comes into play sometimes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and red shirt and give him that extra year to develop or whatever. But if he's a beast, let him play. I say let him.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got to pack on a few more pounds.
We'll see. Well, like I said, it was a pleasure meeting you. It was so great talking to the boys and getting their insight and having them on our show today. Dani, good looking out, putting them on.
I know, they were excited. They literally asked probably every hour.
My bad. My daughter was here, and girl, we was watching The Best Man. I had no idea it was like a whole 8 series.
We started last night.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So we started it last night, and I think we watched the first 2 or whatever, and I was tired, and I couldn't do it. And then we got up this morning. I think we started at 11, and we went straight through all the way to 8. I mean, just nonstop. We just sitting here right here. I mean, and it was captivating. I had no idea it was that good. It was so good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got to get a holiday show in, and thanks to my brother and nephews, even my dad. You didn't see him, but he was so excited.
I don't know why we didn't bring Dad on too.
Well,
he's there too.
Listen, it's the whole family.
Why did you call Dad and Mom? We need to get Mom and Dad on because
no one's left the house, so we haven't exactly changed out of our pajamas today. So
they were. Yeah, he snuck in and he was, beaming with pride that the four of us were on the podcast. So he came in. I know he was taking pictures, and I think he may have recorded a little bit of it as well. But everyone is. Well,
you should have told me. We should have put that on because because it would have been nice just to see the three generations.
Yeah,
and then have that conversation with the 3 generations because that's very rare as well. Especially with with the coaching and just seeing, and I love to see hear your dad's perspective on just how things have progressed from when he was a player and then coaching your brother when he was their age and then how it is now. It has changed so much.
Well, I think we need to do another episode.
We'll have to do a follow-up
and then have Ty and Cisco on.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad and brother on.
Yeah.
As well, so they can get that dynamic as well. But yeah, I think it's definitely
because your brother and your dad have the same parallels as Cisco and Ty.
They do.
Because Ty plays all the same positions that Cisco played. Yeah. I don't know how that even happened like that.
Yeah.
He plays all the same positions. Even in baseball, he plays shortstop. Cisco had him as a first baseman at first. When he had him in player pitch, he was a first base. He played first base.
Wow. Yeah.
So anyway, this is good stuff. It was good, sis.
It was good. Great show. Thanks for taking a little time out with your daughter. Tell her I said hi.
I will.
And we'll be back Wednesday.
So we'll be back on time on Wednesday. Thank y'all for letting us skip out this past Wednesday and hop up on y'all on this Friday night. And we appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We're out. We got he came back. You were outside with
He's
the dog.
so cute.
No,
I'm just in my room. My room's -2.
Yeah, it's cold up here.
It is cold up here. All right, so thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Again, this was season 2, episode 3 of Hits and Heels. We'll be back next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for another episode of Hits and Heels. I'm Dani. That's Coach Terry. We're your co-hosts, the dynamic duo of Hits and Heels, and we're out. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
What's it called? Hits and Heels?
Yeah.